Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Wednesday, August 30th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 35 of 2023, and in my neck of the woods, it is currently 73 degrees. Yes, with a high of 80 and a low of 60. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, goofy times, nice pictures. Hey, Angela. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That's always fun. Welcome to my Facebook peeps who will see this broadcast when it is uploaded into my Facebook group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Glad to see everybody. Hello, Dorothy. All right. I hope everybody's having a decent evening. Guys, do me a favor while you're thinking about it is click on that like button. That is always, always appreciated. All right. So we've got 3 projects tonight. I always do 3. Well, let me put it this way. I always have 3 on deck. But it just depends, of course, how each one goes as to how many we get to. Normally I do get to 3. So this is from my book, Whimsical Houses Jubilee Volume 1. We're working on this picture with the really creepy critters. I'm glad you guys like this one. I've been getting great feedback on it. And then I've been working on our Disney Dreams collection. And this happens to be the one with Snow White on the front. I've been working obviously from the top down. Now, just a little sidebar here. If you're right-handed, work from the upper left-hand corner to the right and down. Although, of course, sometimes you'll want to color individual items throughout the page just to get your bearings. And then, of course, I always use a paper towel to put under my hand. You want to keep that page as clean as possible. Any coloring, you want to keep it clean. But anyway, so this is the piece. Here's the original. And I think it's turning out quite well. I'm happy with it. And then on our third piece, this is Winter Wonderland. And this is by Creative Haven. I love this train. What is it about trains that we all love? But I've been working through this, and thank you for the feedback on this as well. All right. So let's go ahead and excuse me, work on our creepy picture here. So I've got my paper towel, got my scratch sheet. Yeah, we're good to go. Got my brush. We are good to go. All right. So let me grab my black pen. Now, last time we were together, I went ahead and I worked on a background here. Oh, yes, Angela, I've got my water. Yep. I do. When you're talking for 3 hours, you need your water. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and work on this background here. Oh, let me do something. Hold on. Creak. That's my lamp. My adjustable lamp. All right. So yes, I have all my essentials. All right. And for anybody that's new that's watching this, this page is available on my Facebook group. It's called my duet. This is my duet section of the broadcast. And this is where you guys can color with me. With the idea being, this is a teaching group, with the idea being that I walk you through the skill of whatever I happen to be doing at the time. All right. Dorothy, how's Randy doing? Now, oh, Angela, I could not help myself. I finished my background this morning. All right. Did you post it? Did you post your piece in the group? Oh, you're going to wait until I'm done. Okay. Up to you. Okay, so I want this to look really creepy. And this is why we've got the dark mountains in the background. And you'll notice that I use black quite a bit in my images. Let me back up here. When I use black in my images, I use black pen. And of course, it depends on the circumstance and what the image is. But black pen works beautifully. Hello, Judy. Okay, let me pull out. Now, this whole piece, we want to look creepy. So, Angela, was it you that mentioned that you were going to use green? We were talking about this last night. Hello, Linda. Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Angela, because I was thinking the green as well. But I'm glad that you were thinking ahead. I love it when you guys do that. And what I want is a greenish gray color. All right. And what I'm going to do, I started with this orange here, like a sunset. And I'm going to, excuse me, continue with that because I need to blend it into my greens. Camera adjustment. And what I'm doing is I'm having the orange just get what? Lighter and lighter. until it dissolves into the next color. Now, our orange and green are very different colors, so you're going to have to finagle it a little bit. But that's the fun of coloring, isn't it? So I'm putting my orange down, and then I'm going to come in with my green on top of that orange. And I'll work that up into the sky. Isn't that cool? Excuse me. And of course, it always helps when I stay on camera. Gee, you guys don't want to see what I'm doing, do you? And then I'm going to move the camera just a little bit. There we go. And then I'm going to find where the heck I am. A little too far. There we go. And then I'm going to dissolve the green into gray. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Now notice that I'm what? Back blending the gray. All that means when you use the term back blending is that you're starting your next color on top of the previous color. And I'll pull out in a second so you can see how cool this looks. All right. Now, I want you to notice that I'm not just going straight across with this color. I'm working the gray up the side of the roof just a little bit. And then I'm going to work a darker gray. So I'm going to back blend that. And I'll have a darker gray as I go up into the sky here. Now, again, as I mentioned to you until I'm blue in the face, when you start a color, especially your darker ones like your gray, you want to start in lightly. Get your initial color down, and then come back and shade it to the tint that you want. Don't come in gangbusters with your pencil. Who's coloring this with me tonight? Okay. So there's where we are so far. And now we can go back. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and, Linda, you're coloring with me? Okay. I'm going to come over here with my gray. And notice how I'm working in my gray to be darker and darker here. Okay. Judy, you're not coloring tonight. Can't see past the tears. Oh, a YouTuber friend of mine, Wendy Whitman, was taken from us today. You're here for companionship. Oh, Judy, I'm so sorry. Oh, Judy. You want to tell us a little bit about Wendy? If that helps you? Okay, now I'm coming back to my previous colors here, and this is where I'm going to start toning in my colors. And this is where you start deciding how dark you want to make your shades. Now I'm going to carry over my green a little bit on this other side. And again, I want you to notice I'm not making my colors straight across. Well, Judy's sending out hugs to you. Okay, now, after I take a little bit of water here, I'm going to come in with a darker green. Near my orange. Now, I'm actually going to go a little darker than that. Yeah. Let's see what I can find here. Oh, bumped my camera, sorry. All right, so I'm going a little bit darker with my green. Near the horizon. And I'm back blending it into the orange a little bit. And notice now how I'm making it a little bit lighter and lighter and lighter until I blend up into my next green. And then I'll go from my green into my gray. Now this is where I'm finalizing my shades of my different colors. And then I'm going to work with my last gray. Well, Judy, I'm glad you're here. People tell me all the time that my voice is very soothing, and I hope that that's the case for you. Hold on, guys. All right, I just had to grab something. Alright, and notice how with my darker gray, I'm using a lighter version of it down here, and then I'm getting darker and darker as I go towards the top. Alright. Let me pull out so you can see the whole effect here. Now I'm very lightly going to use a blender pencil. The blender pencil, the pencil is the harshest form of blending you can do. And in this case, I want to get a very good blend with my sky because I want it to basically seamlessly merge. And sometimes when you have an open area like this, you do have to give it a little bit of elbow grease to get the blend that you want. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Everybody with me on this? Now I'm going to come back down to my green here. Because I want a darker green at the base here. And then I'm going to finger blend that into my next green. So that we have that cloud-like look. Check it out. And then I'm going to finger blend over my entire gray sky. And I'm just tweaking my green a little bit. Now again, this is all dependent on the look that you want. Let's see. I'm going to carry this green over a little more. And notice that I'm making it a little bit streaky. Hold on. Oh, just gotta check something, guys. Give me a second. Much better. Now, for those of you that are relatively new to coloring, when you're coloring something, some of you look at your page and think that it's ruined, you don't like it, yada, yada, yada. And I keep telling you, you've got to let your coloring play out. And whenever you're coloring a piece, it always goes through an ugly stage. And you have to continue on your piece, and you'll see that it'll finally develop to where you want it to be. Oh, that's why you finished your sky, Angela? Okay. Now, I will address this area later on. I just want to get the rest of my sky done. Oh, on your sky you thought it looked awful, but now that it's finished, not so bad. Yep, exactly. And unfortunately, new colorists tend to get frustrated and they'll throw out their page. And long-term members of my group know that that is a standing rule, is you never, ever, ever throw out a piece. And the reason for that is it's a great learning experience. And quite honestly, if you're relatively new to coloring or haven't colored for a number of years, you're not qualified to make those decisions, right? Where you think something looks bad, other people will look at it and say, wow, that looks really cool. Check it out. Okay, let's pop over to the other side. And guys, I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whether you color or not, my group is intended to help you forget your troubles. Get your mind on something else. Okay. Let's go ahead and work up the other side now. We'll see how far we get. And don't forget, when you're doing little small areas like this, what? Turn your pencil. Now we've got a partial tree branch here, so I'm going to use my pen and complete this. And then I'm going to come in with my lighter orange. Now we've got a little leafy thing here. I'm just going to color right over that with my darker orange. Not even going to worry about it. And we've got some creepy vines hanging from the roof here. So I'll go ahead and avoid those. And then we want to make sure that we really don't have a straight across line of the orange. So I'm going to go ahead and make that uneven. Now, for those of you that are new to my group, I always advise you to never end a color abruptly like this when you have something, a drawn item or whatever on your page. You want to take your color and go a little bit past it. Otherwise, it's going to look funny. All right, let's take a peek at this. Look how cool that looks. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do on this is I'm going to make this area here lighter than my area over here. And that's going to give us a really neat look on the entire page. So in other words, rather than just going all the way across with this pattern that I created on the right hand side, I'm going to change it up on the left. And the reason that we want to do that is because by making this off center, it makes for an interesting pattern and look on the entire page. Happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday, happy Wednesday to one and all, says Moggy. Hi, Moggy. Now, notice again how I'm pulling my green back into my orange. Doesn't that look cool? Oh, you love the sky? Thank you. The whole idea is to give this a foreboding dark look. And I think we've accomplished that. Check it out. Now remember, I'm just putting down my initial colors, right? I'm tinting them in, and then I'll go back and go to the intensity that I want. Okay. Now, I'm going to come in with my light gray. And let me pull out so you can see where I'm going with this. And again, I'm tinting in my color. And I'll be going back and fine-tuning both the blending and the colors that I'm using. Now, on this top here, so this is what we have now for the look for the sky. And notice how I'm blending the dark into my lighter sky. Guys, what's the definition of a proper blend? Now I'm going to lower the gray, the dark gray, a little bit behind the house. And then we'll come back with my lighter gray. Where one color disappears into the next. Exactly. Thank you, Linda. And I want you to notice how this darker color disappears into my lighter gray. See it? Okay, I've got to switch projects. And obviously we have more to do on this left-hand side. Check it out. Any questions or comments? Now, when I'm asking for comments, what I'm asking for is whether you feel that you can comfortably do something like this. Or you might want to say something like, you know, I haven't thought about it, or I like the way that one color fades into the next. Not that I don't appreciate the kudos, but I'm here for you. And don't forget that if I do something that you don't really like, you just say, hey, not my cup of tea. And again, there are some projects that I'm going to be doing that you may not necessarily like, but I want you to concentrate on the technique of what I'm doing. That's the whole point. And you guys know that I've given you projects to do, freebies to do, that haven't been your favorite, but you will have artistic growth if you take it and make something out of it. So it's a little darker Angela says it's a little darker than I care for. That is why mine is not so dark, but still darker than I normally do. Okay. Okay. Are you learning something? I can't help it. I'm just playing around with the blending a little bit. All right. Something new. Not really. But I am practicing what I teach. Good. Okay. Let's work on, boy, if this isn't a change. Let's work on some Disney now. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. All right, I know I'm healthy. I usually sneeze in groups of 3. Okay. Disney. Thank you, Maggie. Linda, is Michelle going to watch tonight? And forgive me, I need to use a tissue. Excuse me. I hope I'm not getting a cold. Linda, the reason that I'm asking is I can go ahead and work on the train now and do the Disney as my last piece. That way it won't mess with Michelle going to bed. Linda, let me know what you want me to do. I'll tell you what, I'll just go ahead and work on the train next. And that way if Michelle can watch, is interested in watching, she can watch. Okay, so she'll be up. Okay. Then I'll work on the Disney. We'll do her that way. Okay, so we've been working on the Disney Dreams collection, Lady and the Tramp. I'm working on my blues and my background. Oh my gosh. So I'm going to work on Tramp tonight. Sometimes I like to do something a little bit different. And then I'll continue with the background. Good girl. Okay, Tramp is done in grays. So we need a light, medium, and dark gray. Hello, Kathy. All right, camera adjustment. So Tramp has got the white and the gray on his chest. Now, I want you to notice when I color this, I'm coloring a little bit outside of the circle. Okay, Linda, thank you. That indicates the lighter gray. And that's for the purpose of continuity. Meaning when I go to blend the other colors, it'll blend more naturally than abruptly stopping at that circle. Now, I can't emphasize enough to you how important this blending is. You know, you guys know I talk about it all the time. Okay, and then we got a little light part on the nose here. Then I've got a lighter gray yet. And this is where we'll start blending in. And always remember, whenever you are adding additional colors like I am now, that you want to do that back blending a little bit. In other words, you want to get rid of that edge that your previous color, where your previous color is. You want to obliterate that border. And part of the blending as well is making sure that the area that you're coloring is smooth. So there's two aspects to blending. Is getting rid of that border and making sure that the color on your page is smooth. I've texted a couple of you and circled an area where I thought that you needed to smooth out your colors. And please refresh my memory. Okay, Maggie, who has this book and who's coloring this with me? Let's see what we got. Okay. Thank you, Maggie. Let me slide over and show you the original color. If you look at this, you'll see that this is somewhat of a greenish gray. So Tramp has grayish green tones. Now, one thing that you're going to notice as you color is that you become more aware of shades and different variances of color. And you'll notice things like patterns. I was in church one time and I saw a really neat pattern on a lady's dress. And I took a picture of it. All right. Check out how I'm working up my darker color. And again, when you're coloring, don't forget to turn your pencil. All right, let me pull out and show you what we have so far. Linda, you do just watching the picture tonight. You're getting your water-based markers tomorrow, and you're going to do tramp with your pencils. Okay. All right, let's move over here just a little bit. Now, when you're coloring these Disney pictures, I want to remind you that, again, this is not fill in the blank. And if you have a darker color and you can color over that line a little bit, color over the line, and that way your piece will look a lot more natural. anytime you're doing any coloring, do not treat it as filling in the blank. I love this green color. Okay. And I'm also going to remind you that when you're coloring, if it makes sense to you to go a little bit off script, when you're doing your grayscale, for example, have at it. So if you feel that there should be, for example, more of a shadow someplace, add that shadow. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a medium gray. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. So this is a medium gray now. Back blending over my previous gray, right? Because we want to get rid of that border. And also I am blending on top of my previous gray. And the reason that I'm doing that is by adding that color to my previous color, it causes everything to blend in together better. Now, if you're coming in with a lighter color like I am, and you can't get that border to disappear the way you want, then go back to your previous pencil, your previous color, what I do with it, go back to your previous color and lighten up that edge. In other words, you have to go to your darker color to lighten up that edge. Does that make sense? See how this is a harsh line right here on that back leg? So I need to lighten it up on the edge so I can blend it. And see how that's disappearing now? Let's see here. And notice how this is blending together beautifully on that back leg. Okay, let me brush that. Then I'm going to move forward to this front leg. And again, notice how I'm breaking down that line and breaking down that previous color. And then I'll move up to the face and we'll do the same thing. Except I just got the eyeball. All right. Check it out. major key to blending, guys, is breaking down that border between your previous color. And I've said this time and time again, is when you're adult coloring, blending is absolutely critical that you get it under control. All right, let me pull out. We'll take a look. Still working on this, obviously. And now I'm going to come in with a medium gray. And get that last overall color that I'm looking for, that shade. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Now notice how I'm carrying the gray over into the light a little bit. And I also want you to notice that I'm coloring over my green, my grayish green, with my gray. Let me zip out that little boo-boo here. Let me put it to you this way about blending, guys. I would rather have you blend well and using lousy colors versus having great coloring great colors for your subject, and lousy blending. That's how important blending is. And I need to get a little bit of tan into the ear here. And we'll make that tongue look just to add a little bit of red to that. There we go. All right, let me pull out. I've got to erase in that eye a little more. There we go. Any questions? And then as you're coloring, this is where I encourage you to tweak in some shading and shadowing of your own. To bring out that look that you want. Okay, and then as my last little touch, I'll go ahead and color that eye with my black pen. Get that to stand out. There we go. Okay, let's look at a side by side of this. And you can tell me what you think. I'm going to add a little bit of black here between the toes. Any of you surprised that I used the grayish green? You got to remember, guys, this is a night scene. And that's going to affect how this looks. Oh, I see something I didn't color here. Thought that eye was still looking funny. There we go. Now I'm happy. Okay, we're in good shape. Now, one thing I'm going to color up real quick is I've been extending my colors out to the outside here. So I'm going to do that over here as well. Okay. And let's go ahead and extend our gray. Much better. Okay, questions or comments what I've done so far? And what I need to know is, based on what I've been showing you, would you feel comfortable coloring this page? Yes, no, maybe. All right, let me pull up just a little bit more. And that way we can see everything. And let me grab a little bit of my water. Guys, don't be intimidated by this. It's not hard at all. Involved, yes. Hard, no. Okay. And I just noticed a big spot that I missed here. Let me take care of that. Judy, you would feel comfortable coloring this? Okay. This is up in the upper right-hand corner. Linda, yes. Judy, yes. Okay. Guys, it's not hard. It really isn't. Just pay attention to what I'm telling you and follow me on it. Okay. So we have our light gray here. And then we have our darker shades here. You know, guys, if you think about it, every single coloring that you do is practice. And as you go along, you get better and better at it. And then you look at your previous colorings and say, yeah, I would have done this or would have done that. But that's not the point. You got to remember that you color to the level that you're currently at. All right, so I'm going to darken this a little bit more on the very edge. And I'm going to finger blend that. All right, what am I missing in this area, guys? What's the last little touch? Oh, come on, somebody must see it. What's the last little touch that I need to add? I don't know why I'm so thirsty tonight. Maggie says she loves recoloring something that she did before that she knew about blending and shading so she can see how she's grown. Kathy says not sure. And actually, Maggie, if you recolor something, I would really appreciate it if you would post the side by side. Okay, the touch that's missing is the reflection on the pavement of the pink dress. Isn't that cool? Guys, these are the types of things I want you to think about. There you go. Yeah, the Christmas Karen was the last one. Okay. There's the reflection of the dress. Let's look at the side by side of this. There you go. And let me pull in just a little bit more so we can get a little more detail. Now, the reason that I feel that this is a really great project for you guys to do is because it gives you a nice guide on the left. And it gives you a chance to practice your detail on items. And you can immediately see, yeah, I remember that gesture. You can immediately see your progress. Okay. Don't be intimidated by this piece, guys. All right. Let's get a train going here. Winter Wonderland by Creative Haven. Let me turn my camera. And I'll continue with this. All right. So I'm going to work on the red area of our train, and I'm going to work with the shading and shadowing as soon as this gets into focus. Oh, Kathy, you forgot to post your picture? Okay. And I hope you guys are having fun tonight. I'm really enjoying these projects. These three in particular I've really been enjoying. Okay. So I'm going to use a dark brown now, and we need to add our depth dimension detail. To the back end of this train. Now, I really enjoy working with browns and reds. And I really wish that I could give you a copy of this page to work on while I'm doing it, but I can't. But I know that some of you have the Winter Wonderland book. Guys, I highly suggest picking up Winter Wonderland by Creative Haven. So notice the brown now, and that's really making this look rich. And the last time that we were together in coloring this, we worked on two of the people here that were walking towards the train. Okay. So browns and red. And then I'm going to use my Payne's Gray. Michelle says it's pretty. Thank you, Michelle. Michelle, did your mom tell you that the reason I'm coloring this is for you? Okay, Payne's Gray. And I'm simply using it on some of the lines here. And the edges. Oh, by the way, I completely pigged out on my Boston baked beans and ate all of them. And then here are my touches of gray. Over here underneath the patio. Now notice how I went ahead and put one streak of gray right here in the windows. So what's happening now is that this train is looking very rich. I'm touching up my steam a little bit, my smoke. One is actually the steam and the other is the smoke. Pull out. Michelle, you said that you liked how I colored the smoke and the steam the other night. Guys, what are you working on while I'm working on this? And again, play with it. Angela's working on Nightfall. Judy's watching. Dorothy's watching. Maggie's watching. This is why when I'm coloring, I am very descriptive in what I'm doing, so that you guys, if you're working on something else, you can still hear me and pick up the concept. Blending, 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 rawhide. See how those edges are disappearing? Then I'm actually going to come in with black. And I'm going to kick in a little bit of black on this edge where the clouds overlap. And guys, this type of thing, this is what's going to make your pieces look really good. Details, right? And I'll go back to a lighter gray here on this bottom edge. Guys, when you're coloring, oh, Kathy, you're into Awesome Autumn Jubilee. Yay. That time of year, huh? Okay, and then with my Payne's Gray, oh good, Michelle's still happy with the picture. I'm going to go over to this cloud of steam. 69 degrees for a high today. This weekend it's going to be in the 90s. Now, I want you to notice how I'm taking my Payne's Gray and I'm rolling over the gray into the steam. See how I'm doing that? Maggie, you're finally out of the 90s. 87 for you. Guys, see how I'm rolling over the gray on this second cloud? And I'm going to do it up here as well. And I'm going to do it up here. And then we're okay, Linda, thank you. You guys are the best. I always appreciate it when you tell me that you're stepping away. Miss Kathy, good night. I'll look for your posted picture. Now, notice how I am Rolling this over into the center. Check it out. Tonight was a little crazy. Why? What was going on, Kathy? Was it stuff going on at Buddy? Finger blend. Oh, guys, check this out. Isn't that cool? Okay. So just for a little variety here, I'm going to go ahead. Work was busy. You weren't feeling all that great today. Oh. And talking with family in Florida, everybody's okay. Good. Get some rest. Have a great rest of the evening. All right. Just for variety here, I'm going to start up on the trees. And you know that I'm going to work with several greens to do that. Oh, you got your box of Boston baked beans. Oh, enjoy. Next time I do my Walmart online order, I'm going to get some more. Okay, a little bit of Payne's Gray here. To darken up our tree. Especially the ones in the background. Aren't they delicious? Yes, they are. Okay, check out the variety of color with my trees. And then, of course, my shading on these as well. Those trees are looking pretty cool. I don't know, Michelle, what do you think of the trees? Do you like them? And then a little bit of shading in between here. Check that out. All right. That's all right, Maggie. Sometimes it gets a little confusing as to who's leaving and who's staying. All right. Michelle, do you like the trees? Maggie says her family in Georgia, 3 different houses, all have leaking roofs from the rain. Oh, your niece's yard was totally flooded. Wow. Oops, off camera. Okay. Now I'm going to slide. She likes the trees. Okay. I'm going to slide back. Move my camera just a little bit. And I'm going to get a different green, a little bit lighter. Is the hurricane still moving across the U.S., guys? And I'm going to color up the bushes behind the tree. So what's the issue with the hurricane? Has it just not moved, or has it not completed its pathway across the U.S.? Okay, Judy, thank you. Now, check out how cool everything's looking here with the addition of these bushes. Okay. Now, we've got some bushes on the right-hand side here, or some trees actually, but they're snow covered. So we need to sneak our green here in between. Michelle, what do you think of these trees? Two in North Georgia, the other in South Georgia, closest to Florida. Oh. All right, that's looking pretty cool. Let me pull out. Guys, what do you think? I think it's coming out beautifully. Now, for the sake of variety, I'm going to color up some of my snow. so that we can get some nice contrast on that as well. Angela, don't you guys have hurricane and tornado problems as well? Oh, you think it was downgraded to a tropical storm moving up to the Carolinas? This one missed you. Thank God on that. Now, if you guys have questions, okay, she likes them, so she likes the trees. All right. About why we add blue to snow. Oh, that was Vicky. Did you guys hear that? When you're out in the evening, look at the color of the snow. And also, during the day, cast a shadow on the snow and you will see grays and at times blues. We've talked a lot about that. And yellow. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah. Angela, were you here at the time when we colored the snowman? Oh, Michelle doesn't like winter. When we colored the snowman and we put a little yellow by him. I don't think you were here at the time. Nope, you weren't here. Okay. Here, let me pull out a second so you guys can look at this. Let me see if I can find that picture. Oh. Okay, Judy. Judy, sorry for your loss of your YouTube companion. Let's see. Let me see if I can find this real quick. Oh, there it is. So we did this picture, and it has a snowman. Judy, take care of yourself. It has a snowman in it. And if you'll notice, there's a little bit of yellow. By the back part. So we have to assume that a dog wandered by. All right. Stay. Stay. Oh, name of that book? Christmas Magic by Ruth Sanderson. Now, I'm going to show you here what I'm going to do with the snow. And I'll do it on the one part, and then we'll go back to it. Oh, Ruth's books are wonderful. So I'm going to smooth out my snow here. A little bit of blender pencil. Oh, Michelle, you like that other picture? Yeah, it's pretty cool. We had a really good time doing it. Here, let me grab it again real quick. Because I concentrated on showing you the snowman with the coloring. We did this July 14th. Check it out. Lots of neat things going on with it. And this was the picture where I went ahead and I put white acrylic paint in the window panes. To make it look like the snow. And then I put the white on the greenery on either side. I would say, and notice the snow that we put on top of the wreath here. I would say we had a good time with this picture. I did. All right. Hang with me, guys, for 4 more minutes. So I'm going to take a slightly darker pencil. Of the blue. And we're going to blend in that shading. Check it out. Now, notice how I left a little gap right here and colored this area. That's just those little extra details and touches. To add to things like this. All right, let me do this one. Now this one I'm just going to do on the right hand side. I'm not going to go all the way around. And if you need to throw a little bit of blender pencil on that, just to smooth that out, go ahead and do that. Okay. Bad snowman. Check it out, guys. Isn't that beautiful? I'm having way too much fun doing this. And I think it's turning out beautifully. Okay. So we worked on our snowman. Excuse me, we worked on our train. See, I got snowman on the mind. We worked on our Disney picture. And we worked on our spooky house with the wolves. I'd say that we got a lot done. Okay. Guys, have a great rest of the evening. This is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. Guys, love on each other. That's what our group is known for. And I will see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. And we'll see what else kind of trouble we can get into. And guys, do me a huge favor and like this broadcast. I really appreciate that. Okay, guys, take care. Bye.